This is continuing lesson 1 in the Journeys workbook for grade 5. And the name of this story is An Ocean Learner. We've already reviewed the vocabulary that's going to be in this story, and hopefully you will know the meaning of those words as they're used in the story. One stared at the open cartons. How could he fit 4 months of his life into them? He had to, though. That was all Mom and Dad would let him take along. There's not much room on a ship, Mom had said. The Garcias weren't taking a vacation. Mom and Dad were going to be teachers for school at sea. High school students would spend 2 months on the ship. They would take all their classes there. Juan was going with his parents. Mom and Dad were thrilled. Juan did not like it one bit. 4 weeks the family prepared. They packed clothing, cameras, and books. Mom and Dad spent hours writing lesson plans. Dad was a math teacher. Mom's specialty was science. Juan spent time complaining. I am not a fish, he said. I live on land. Why are you wrecking my life? You'll love going to school at sea, said Mom. You'll see how much you'll enjoy. Juan interrupted Mom before she could go on. I want to go to my school. I don't want to be trapped on some boat. Finally, the big day came. The Garcias arrived at the dock. Juan staggered unsteadily as he lugged a suitcase. Gripping the handles was making his fingers feel numb. The ship was larger than Juan had expected. Maybe it wouldn't tip over and sink in a storm after all. He wasn't going to be the only young kid on board. Another boy stood nearby. The other boy looked excited. That must be Ted Blake and his parents, said Dad. See, said Mom, you'll have friends. You're sharing a cabin with Ted. Juan just grunted. He wanted his land friends. Juan and Ted found their cabin. It was so tiny. The furniture was odd, too. The beds were built into the walls. Chairs were bolted to the floor. Does this mean the boat could turn over on its side? Juan asked. Not a chance, said Ted. Big ships are pretty steady. School began the next day. The teachers' kids had their own classes. There, Juan and Ted met Kim. What a great way to go to school, said Kim. Here, when we study, dolphins. We get to see them. Dolphins? Juan loved dolphins. Maybe this ocean school would be okay. On the 4th day at sea, 3 friends sat on the deck. They were doing homework. Suddenly, thunder boomed. Rain pounded onto the deck. High waves began to rock the ship. The friends hurried indoors. They struggled to walk steadily. At last, the 3 reached Juan and Ted's cabin. Whew, said Ted. How could a storm come up that fast? Juan smiled. He knew the answer. A warm front and a cold front came together, he said. It was on the weather map we studied earlier. Cool, said Kim. We get to live what we're learning. In a few hours, the sun had dried everything out. The 3 friends were back outside. Mom came over. Are you ready for science class? She asked. We're way ahead of you, said Ted. Our science class started hours ago. For the first time in weeks, Juan felt like laughing, and he did. Yes, Mom, he said. We learned a thing or two about weather maps today. Mom did not say, I told you so. She didn't have to. Juan had already figured out that he was going to a pretty good school. Okay, there are 2 workbook pages with questions, and it even has where to look back in the story for those answers. And I can read those for you. Let's look at this page. The world's biggest store, the ocean. We get more than just fish from the ocean. Sea plants and animals are used in medicine, toothpaste, shampoo, fertilizer, and ice cream. The place to live. More than half the people in the world live within 60 miles of an ocean. That is more than 2.7 billion people. Close to half of all Americans live near the coast. And I love that. I love the ocean. Ocean facts. Areas. The area of our oceans is 140 million square miles. That's more than 2/3 of Earth's surface. Deepest point. The Mariana Trench in the western Pacific is more than 5 miles deep. Biggest animal. The blue whale is the largest animal on Earth. It is bigger than the biggest dinosaur. How do these facts help you understand more about what you can learn from going to school on a ship? On page 11, here are the questions. Number 1, which of the two settings is more important in this story? Why? At first, how are Juan's feelings about school at sea different from Ted's? Number 3, how does Juan's attitude change during the story? Number 4, what is the most important thing that Juan learns in the story? And then we go back. It tells you where you can find the answers. And also, there's some places to stop and write about the story. I can read those questions for you. Let's look at the bottom. On this first page, what problem does one have? That's at the beginning. Then, if you became a teacher, what specialty would you choose? What is something that can make someone's fingers feel numb? Well, around here, it's most time cold, just being really cold. At a football game, I can remember my fingers getting numb. Outside playing in the snow, they can get numb. How do Juan's feelings begin to change in this part of the story? Okay, this is after he's met Ted and Kim. And he's getting to find out it's going to be better than he thought. Why is the storm an important event in the story? Do you think Juan still has the same problem as before? Explain. And this is after he's talking to his mom about the lessons they've already had. Okay, I hope you enjoy that story and that lesson. I think it's a good story. And I will read the next one soon. I miss you all. Bye.